Welcome back to the Curvaceous Bounty of Sin City. This is not the club calendar time, although
porno music.
I forgot to change the music. I love this music though.
It's porno music.
I love it. I like
me hard music.
I like watching pornos though.
Brown chicken, brown cow.
And then you have to add in the little every once in a while when it doesn't even fit with her mouth. You know. That's not even what they're doing at that point.
We got to be careful. Ustream might pull this down. They get angry about sounds. I don't know why.
Speaking of sex, I've got some stories before we start with catch-ups, which we need to start on.
Speaking of sex, what a great segue, by the way. Speaking of sex, a man put his penis inside a vagina.
Did you know that men say no to sex pretty often?
Yes, they do.
No, they do not.
And why would men say no to sex?
So I was out researching.
My man
this
says
week.
no. I'm a bit pissed off.
I was out researching, and I swear to God, Reader's Digest.
Well, then Digest. You know what? That shit's legitimate. It's Reader's Digest.
Right. That's no.
Come on. That's no bullshit.
That's no. Was it grocery store?
That ain't no Cosmo shit.
That's right. Tabloid. That's no tabloid.
There you go.
6 reasons men say no to sex.
There are a couple of names on there.
You ready? Number 1, he's suffering from depression.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Clinical depression is one of the biggest killers of sex drive in men.
And I think more men have depression than that want to admit to it.
They do.
They do.
And it's very true.
And the antidepressants sometimes make their dick not work.
Oh, there you go then.
But if their dick's not working, the antidepressants sometimes do the opposite. Make it work more often. My microphone's running away from me.
Number 2, his testosterone levels are just very low. When he's over 40, his testosterone levels begin to decrease.
Low T.
Check them low T levels.
Sometimes males can lose testosterone very rapidly, and it's referred to as andropause and comes with symptoms that include loss of energy, depressive symptoms, and low sex drive.
Now these are medical reasons why men don't want to have sex.
But men will say no.
What's the downright dirty reason?
But they'll say no when
they have those problems.
I'm just not feeling it.
What the whole article is, it might not be you. You know what I mean?
And let me ask you a question about low T. You two girls might know. During low T, does it take their sexual drive down, or just take the ability to get a hard on?
Nope,
it takes it all
drive down.
I gotcha. Yeah. Okay.
Number 4 is he's got trouble with his plumbing.
Well, that goes with
a urinary tract.
Number 3. This is number 3.
A urinary tract infection can make getting hard difficult and painful.
I heard that men who smoke eventually have a hard time getting hard.
Men are very by nature prideful, and if they know that they can't perform, right? So they just won't even go there.
I have a friend who has a story about how her ex-husband was suffering from erectile dysfunction, and at some point he was actually in bed screaming at his penis because it wouldn't get erect.
Oh, I know that story.
Wow.
Number 4, he is stressed out about his career. Stress will make your penis not work. Is a huge killer. So if he's got huge stress at work when he comes home,
give him a blowjob.
Lube our shit up and just take it.
And number 5, he is exhausted
from all the fucking he was doing earlier.
I can wake that shit up. I promise I can wake that shit up.
Number 6 is
crazy bitch.
I'm waiting for it. You are moving too fast.
What?
So that's the last. That's the down and dirty one. And we've seen this with a friend of ours before, where she wanted to do it, and he's like, "Whoa, let's get to know each other first. Let me learn your first name, your real first name, Shaquandra." That's close to my name that was given to me by friends of mine. Yeah, she's got, you know how sometimes you go and you visit an ancient Indian tribe and they give you an Indian name? Yep. She's got an ancient Indian ghetto tribe name. Yep, it's Shaquanda. And if I log into Gambler's Bonus here in Vegas, because a lot of the slot machines have this one big gambling club where you can earn points and free dollars and stuff, my login is Shaquanda. That's funny. Oh, that was given to me by Little T. Well, it sounds to me. Lil T. It sounds to me that if your man does not want to have sex with you, take him to a doctor. Yeah, 5 out of the 6 reasons is medical. Now, if he don't want to have sex with you because your pussy stank, take a bath. But I just thought that was quite interesting because men have a lot of stress in their lives because,
even modern men today, they're looked at to be the providers, they're looked at to be the support system, and then half of them are looked at to be now Mr.
But
Mom.
every one of those things you read is a medical issue that
except for the last one, right?
Something you can get a pill or something, or go to counseling or something to fix that stuff.
Sometimes medication though will cause you to have issues as well.
True.
Right?
Yeah, that's very true.
And men these days, modern men have
trouble with your
this fucking microphone hates me today. Modern men have an even worse than guys from the 50s or 60s. Back then, they just had to be macho men. Mm-hmm. Now they've got to be strong, tough macho men. Take care of me, but be sensitive to my feelings and be kind and nice. And wait a minute, I need you to go beat that guy up. Like you can't. You got to pick one or the other.
Right.
But men have to be both these days.
Why do we have to pick one or the other?
But you can't have your cake and eat it too.
So they can be the strong, beat up somebody, and be sensitive to my sensitive.
I'm a whole. I am behind. If I'm going to do this, then you're going to do this. If I expect you to be this way, the dual personality, then I think you should be able to expect me to take care of myself and do the dishes. You know what I mean? So I don't know. It's a whole give and take kind of thing. I think the give and take has to be even.
I think it's one of the reasons I truly admire people who can enter into a full power exchange relationship.
Turn that on you when you talk about this, because
what do you mean? What do you mean about power exchange?
Okay, we're talking about BDSM. The whole fetish life, fet life thing, where there's a sub and a dom.
Right. A submissive and a dominant. And in some relationships, that role can flip-flop between the two. But a full power exchange means one person, whoever is the submissive personality, gives all control of their life to the dominant personality.
And that can include things like what you're wearing, how you wear your hair,
how often you go to the bathroom, when you brush your teeth,
what
you eat when you eat. Hold on, wait.
No.
It's not for everybody.
No.
It's not for me either. A full power exchange relationship like that's just not for me. I could do it, it'd be fun to do for like a weekend or something like that. I couldn't do a full lifestyle power exchange like that. But I really admire the people who can do that, because they understand their role in their relationship. There's no questioning what your role in that relationship is.
That's true. You know what? The one thing about it is there's no gray area.
No.
And you have put yourself in the position that you are totally submissive. You will not make a move unless you ask that person.
You know what to expect and when to expect it.
I could see that. I could see that would be an easier thing. When it gets hard is when there's too many gray areas in a relationship.
Yeah,
that's when it's really
that reminds me of that movie, The Secretary.
I fucking love that movie, and it's not just for James Spader, but I would totally fuck James Spader. Really, I have it on DVD.
Of course she does.
Second copy.
Yeah. I guess so.
That is like porn for me. I masturbate to that shit. I fucking love that movie. I want to bang you so bad, Spader. Oh.
Premise? What's the premise?
The premise is there's this young girl who was hospitalized. Well, not young girl. She's probably in her 20s.
Yeah.
She was hospitalized for a very deep depression. She's a cutter.
Mm-hmm.
And the first job she gets...
And she had a whole, like, crazy box of shit. Like
most cutters are like that. It's a ritual for them.
Yeah.
And so her very first job is for this lawyer, and he's all messed up because his ex-wife's a total fucking cunt. And slowly over time they realize with each other, like, he's this serious sadist. Like, he loves beating the shit out of people, just like he gets off on it, right? But he thinks he's twisted in the head because not everybody else is into this. But then he realizes that, she's a cutter, and then he starts kind of spanking her at work, and she gets off on it, and he gets off that she gets off on it. And there's this whole plot twist in the end with a wedding dress and pissing on yourself and all this other stuff.
Oh my God.
But it is one of the greatest love stories I have ever fucking seen on a movie. And it is so sexual and sensual. The opening sequence, she's in a walking, basically, like, set of stocks where you've got a bar, a collar around your neck, and a rigid bar that holds your hands out to shoulder level.
Yeah, she's like this.
And she's doing all of her office duties
like this.
She's sending faxes, making copies, doing the coffee, everything like that.
Yeah, she takes some coffee.
But the grace, the grace that she does when she's moving this way, the confidence you can see in herself.
Yeah,
that,
she did get that. Yeah.
You're just like, oh my God, my nipples are hard right now just fucking thinking about that. Oh!
That
fucking love that movie.
That doesn't sound fun to me.
It is fun.
Because this is how I am, okay, with the man.
Are you licking my pussy? Oh, I'm sorry.
But no.
You better be eating my pussy.
So, Batman and me, we've been, we have fun together once in a while. Well, like, he's texting me one day, and I look at it. I don't feel like talking to him. But that's what I like, because I didn't have to text him back to the next day, and there's no pressure, like, why the fuck did you text me? Because if he would have said that, he'd been done.
Right.
But I just can't be bothered sometimes. That's why I don't have a man regular.
She said I can't be bothered.
I can't be bothered sometimes.
Okay, so
that's why you need a long distance relationship.
Well, we just spiraled right into that conversation, huh? From men saying no to sex.
Yes.
To BDSM. Always it becomes mine, always.
So the next article I have is on the woman's side, that there are a lot of women, they don't realize that painful sex is a common thing. There are a lot of women, especially over the age of 40, who, when they're having sexual intercourse, it's painful for them.
What part is painful?
The vaginal area.
Usually because they're not lubricated enough.
And that's exactly right. The number one reason is because of menopause causes...
Spit on it!
I actually am suffering... I do have painful intercourse on occasion because there's not enough... I don't have enough...
Don't you got some KY in your nightstand?
Oh, of course.
They got a fucking pump bottle.
But when you first start...
It's a hose. It's on a hose.
When you first start, you don't think about that. And sometimes it can get a little painful.
And unless you think about being a little kinky, because people think of lube as being something kinky, they don't think to go the lube route. And they're like, ooh, let's try something kinky. Put a little lube on.
You know you got dry pussy. Get the fucking lube out.
Well, see, here's the thing. 40% of all women will experience painful intercourse in their lifetime. Okay?
I have. Sometimes when I just roll over to be the vessel, there ain't no time for lube.
Sometimes lower amounts of hormone, estrogen, leads to your vaginal and genital tissue getting thinner.
Yeah, I've heard that
before. And I think the problem is that women don't talk about it. They don't even discuss it.
They don't listen to this show.
They think a lot of women think it's their own fault. It's because they don't have the lube or whatever, so they don't tell their guy.
I'm not turned on enough.
We need to go buy lube.
Right. They think the same thing a guy thinks when he has erectile dysfunction. I'm not turned on enough. There's something wrong with me.
Right.
I'm not psyched up for it or whatever. No. It's just that, sometimes your body ain't juicy. Now I don't experience that problem any day these days.
I haven't experienced that much lately myself.
But I did with my ex-husband, and mostly it's because I just didn't want to have sex with him. But it's okay to use lube.
It is. That is the first usually the first line of defense that doctors will do. Non-invasive lubricants and creams, and they even have the desensitizing. You can go to any of these parties, like the Fuckerware party, and get that desensitizer that's usually used for anal play. But if you need to,
it's called Analese, ladies and gentlemen.
That's what it's called. And it's cherry flavored.
No thanks. Stay away from the spokes, please.
I love putting that stuff on my lips.
Oh, it turns numb. It, like,
I know.
I feel like I'm going to the fucking dinner. Blah, 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 blah.
Anyway, go and get your checkup annually, women. And if you do have a problem, at the very least, talk to your doctor about it. Talk to your girlfriends about it, because I'll bet you other women have done the same thing or shared the same thing or have the same problem.
Or you don't, and you know what? You don't even have to go to the creepy sex shop to get lube anymore. You can pick up KY jelly at your local grocery store.
CVS has it on sale all the time.
Yeah.
They even have the hot warming one, the one that gets hot and everything.
Yeah.
But I wanted to mention this because I do experience that painful intercourse on occasion, especially when there's no lube. But I talked to Silent Mike, and
now they have a pump bottle.
He goes and he gets it. As soon as we get down to a quarter of a bottle, he's going to get some more just in case.
Good.
So,
that's really
and
good.
We are very liberal with it.
Okay, so when I won that basket of sex toys at one of the little Darling Dance contests, there's this beautiful orange pump bottle little pump about this big with lube in it, and it pumps, okay? Well, on my nightstand, I have a basket.
I can imagine it right now. Go ahead.
I have a basket with like lotion. I keep a hairbrush, whatever I might need in the evening, my medicine, all that stuff. So my little grandson comes out and he goes, "Grandma, I borrowed some of your lotion." And he's got orange smelling lube all over his hand. Borrowing my lotion. I'm like, honey, that's not lotion.
That's awesome.
That's Grandma's juicy pussy juice.
DJ mentioned in the chat. Usually TGIF takes care of the lube issue, which is tongue goes in first, right? Saliva is not the best lubricant in the world, because it's wet. And if you've ever rubbed your arm when it's wet, you'll notice that sometimes it'll go like
it sticks.
Well, and it doesn't stay wet.
No.
That's the problem with
no.
saliva.
And if you think that your tongue going down on me is going to make me naturally wetter, it's not an issue of me being turned on. It's an issue of my body not making enough natural
lubricant. And as women
lubricant.
get older, that happens.
Yeah, and I'm 45 years old, so sorry. Of course, Sierra said...
I'm still loopy.
Of course, Sierra says, TGIF, toes go in first? What kind of...
Well, because
is that shit?
Because that's what you... When I was in the Army... I shit you not, there were some idiots in the class before me in my basic training group, and our drill sergeants made us write on the tongues of our boots, TGIF, toes go in first.
Gotcha.
So
that's funny.
So whenever someone says TGIF, and I know they're talking about, eating pussy, I always go back to 6'7" drill sergeant Land with a crew cut going, "Listen, Private, your toes go in them shoes first, bitch."
Really?
Toes go in first.
Why? There's people that don't know that their toes go in first.
Let me tell you about a girl who pissed herself, sat down on a stool and pissed herself because she was not told she could go to the bathroom. In the fucking Army. These people, she showed up on the first day of basic training, 3 days, laundry day, she didn't know how to turn on a washing machine.
What? Like she didn't know from home?
Yep.
She did not know how to turn on a washing machine.
I had to give her a fucking hard time.
I met people who didn't know how to roll socks. They couldn't even. They had no idea.
The military.
The maids that did it for them.
The military.
Mothers.
I think every young person should be in the military just for that kind of life training.
Well, that's what they do in Israel. Everybody has to go.
Right,
2 years.
They'll reteach you. I know a lot of people who were retaught how to brush their teeth because they couldn't do it good enough.
They teach you how to what? The very first day of orientation before you go into Hell Week, they teach you what order to wash your body in, because most people don't know to start at the top and work your way down. They teach you what order to brush your teeth in, because most people don't know to rinse first or floss first and then brush to get rid of the whatever. Everything. Right down to how often you should change your underwear. Some people just don't know. Their parents don't teach them.
And I think it's a great thing that they do that, because now you have self-sufficient people who can wash their own clothes and roll their own socks and brush their own teeth.
You are blowing my mind.
Like, I'm just like, and what's the suggested, changing your underwear? what's the what is that?
Growing up, what did these people do?
I mean, you at least
they went through 20 years of life and they can't fold their socks and put their underwear on and brush their teeth?
Yes. How many kids today do you know are spoiled brats because their parents do all that for them?
Yeah.
How many do you know?
My son knows how to load a washer and
I need to know what's the suggested changing of underwear. I want to know.
Suggested changing of underwear is you put on clean underwear before you go to bed so that you don't have to change them in the morning in case you have to rush out of bed. You have clean underwear on when you go to bed. And when you get done from a field exercise, if you come back and your butt is sweaty, you should change your underwear to avoid fungus growth.
Yep.
Fungus in your ass.
Yeah.
Oh, what happened?
That's nasty. That's nasty.
Don't think it don't happen.
All right. So we went from vaginal painful intercourse to swamp.
To swamp
I'm going to do this every time.
At least we stayed in the same area this time. Just saying.
It's all below the belt, baby. Below the belt.
So my last news story that I got this week, I didn't do a lot of news stories this week. I
love your news story, by the way.
In Virginia, there's a guy named Ken.
Wait a minute. There's a guy in Virginia. What a lucky girl.
There's a guy named Ken Cuccinelli.
Woo!
The coach!
I didn't even realize that.
You don't even have to go any further with that.
I do have to go further than that.
Because it's the coach.
If you vote for him to be governor, he wants to keep your children safe from sexual predators by making all oral and anal sex between everyone, even married couples, a felony that can carry a sentence of up to a year in prison.
Okay, a couple questions. Is he married?
I want to know who the blowjob cop is, and can I offer to be on that task force?
You want to be the one that goes, hello? Are you having fellatio in there?
Can I join in?
Seriously,
it does not.
Thou shalt not eat her pussy. Do you know how many angry women there will be in Virginia?
First of all, he must have a wife that doesn't suck dick. Because he wouldn't care then. If she sucks dick, he'd be having a hard time. And also, who's going to enforce this law? How are they going to enforce this law?
I like her idea. The sex police.
Yeah, who's going to be the blowjob task force leader? I think I should be.
Blowjob task force.
Just so you know, he is the current Attorney General of Virginia.
What's he trying people for sodomy?
What is his purpose?
Jesus.
Is there a
Jesus
reason?
save me from
Does
your
he
people.
have a good goddamn reason for not wanting people to have oral sex?
Because he thinks it will promote sexual predatorism.
Yeah.
On children. He thinks that you giving your husband a blowjob is going to make some other dude sodomize a little boy.
Well, my two favorite things is to give head and to get my pussy licked. And I got no desire to be doing that with any kind of kids, okay?
Now, he is married.
Barely legals, though. She'll do that.
He has 7 kids.
But no foreplay. There was no oral foreplay during them 7 kids. He jumped on, jumped off. Boy, his wife's happy, huh?
You know what? I bet you if there had been, there'd be fewer children. I'm telling you, if that Duggar bitch sucked cock, she wouldn't have 18 kids.
She swallowed them bitches right down.
So what he wants to do is reinstate a crimes against nature law.
It is.
God.
There are animals who give fellatio in nature.
This law has already been deemed unconstitutional by federal courts.
Thank you, Jesus.
I think we need to segue into the animals that give oral sex because I heard your question and I want to know that.
Which animals give their spouses oral sex other than humans?
Well, as soon as I get my microphone out of my nose, I will Google this.
You know, I want to hear you ask the question to Siri.
Siri's
what animals give oral sex?
Oh, Siri will just do a web search. I can do that myself.
That is great.
Besides, if I say,
but just for entertainment purposes. Oh, are you gonna ask her? Okay.
Siri, will you give? God damn you, Siri. Siri, will you give me a blowjob?
I don't know what you mean by Siri. Will you give me a blowjob? Search for it.
If you ask too big of a question, sometimes she doesn't.
She's searching the web for Siri. Will you give me a blowjob? Siri, you're awesome. Siri has a meltdown. Siri, give me a blowjob. That is.
Well, should we get a catch up while we're waiting for Siri to find you a blowjob over there?
Yeah.
All right, Mama. How about you catch us up first?
Let me see what happened this week.
Actually, let's take a quick break between the catch-ups.
You got it. No problem.
Right.
Okay, we will be right back. You're listening to the Curvaceous Bounty of Sin City on VegasAllNetRadio.com. We're getting ready to go into our final 30 minutes. Don't miss it. Be right back.